Some people use Google to find directions, fix a leaky sink, or maybe even learn how to cook something besides microwave burritos. And then there are the others, the ones asking if babies are dishwasher safe or if worms wear tiny sunglasses underground. This video? Yeah, it's dedicated to them. The brave souls who opened a browser, stared at that little blinking cursor and thought, "Dear Google, is my butt 40?" Buckle up, America. Today we're diving headfirst into the weirdest, dumbest, and most wonderfully ridiculous searches that people actually typed. And yes, they're all real. Number 1. Can a person survive on a diet of pizza alone? Of course, America had to ask this. Forget the food pyramid. Forget vitamins. Forget grandma yelling, "Eat your vegetables." Some folks are out here trying to scientifically prove that Domino's could be a sustainable lifestyle. And look, if your idea of balanced nutrition is pepperoni on one slice and pineapple on another, maybe you're onto something. But the brutal reality? A pizza only diet basically guarantees that your body will slowly turn into one big mozzarella stick with clogged arteries. Sure, you might live for a while, but you'd also be the first human ever classified as both a person and a stuffed crust. Somewhere, a nutritionist just fainted. Number 2. How to become a mermaid? This is another top search. People don't just want to go to the beach, they want to become part of it. Imagine someone typing this at 2 a.m., sitting in a bathtub with a blanket tied to their legs, chanting, "Please, Poseidon, pick me." Look, unless you've got Disney animators working overtime on your life, you're not sprouting a fishtail. But don't worry, there are always options. You could buy a sequined mermaid tail on Amazon, choke on a snorkel, and boom, you're Ariel's sad cousin who never made it into the sequel. The irony is, most people who want to become mermaids can't even swim in a straight line without looking like a drunk seal. But hey, dream big. Number 3. Can chickens lay square eggs? Now, this one's important. Some genius apparently looked at a dozen eggs and thought, yeah, these are fine. But could they stack better in the fridge? And honestly, that's the most American innovation dream I've ever heard. Forget curing diseases. We need cube-shaped omelets. Nature, however, doesn't do IKEA. Chickens are not out here playing Tetris with breakfast. Eggs are oval because that's how evolution works, not because chickens are lazy designers. The day a hen pops out a square egg, I'll personally nominate her for CEO of Lego. Until then, maybe just invest in an egg carton that doesn't make you mad. Number 4. Can you eat a whole airplane? Ah, yes, the internet at its finest. As if someone was at an airport food court, saw their $18 sandwich, and thought, you know what? I bet the whole Boeing 747 would be more satisfying. And here's the kicker. Someone actually did it. A French guy named Michel Lotito, known as Monsieur Mange-Tout, literally ate parts of an airplane over 2 years. Wings, seats, the whole metallic buffet. He didn't just eat airplanes. He also chomped down on bicycles, shopping carts, and, I kid you not, a coffin. Meanwhile, I nearly choke on a tortilla chip if I'm not careful. The takeaway. Yes, technically, you can eat an airplane, but unless your dentist doubles as a mechanic, don't try this at home. Number 5. Can you train a goldfish to play basketball? And now, the American dream, forget training dogs, cats, or even your kids. No, someone looked at a goldfish and thought, this is my LeBron James. And to be fair, it's possible. There are little kits you can buy online that include miniature basketball hoops for fish. With enough patience and fish food bribes, your goldfish can, in fact, dunk. But let's not get carried away. You're not starting the NBA National Betta Fish Association. Your goldfish isn't going to land a sneaker deal or trash talk other players. At best, it'll flick a ball into a hoop while silently judging you for wasting your life cheering at an aquarium. Fish to score? Congratulations. You're officially doing more with your pets than most people are doing with their kids' homework. Number 6. Can cats see ghosts? Of course they can, at least according to anyone who's owned a cat at 3 a.m. You're half asleep. Your cat suddenly stares into the corner of the room with dilated pupils, tail puffed like it just saw Freddy Krueger. And then it bolts out of the room like Usain Bolt with a mortgage payment due. Logical conclusion? Ghosts. The other option, that cats are just furry little psychopaths who enjoy messing with you, is way too reasonable. Honestly, if cats do see ghosts, it explains a lot. Like why they randomly hiss at nothing or why they knock your glass off the counter. They're just trying to warn you about the poltergeist. Or they just hate you. 50-50 chance. Number 7. Can I sell my soul to the devil? Apparently, some Americans have decided Craigslist isn't enough. They need to move into the supernatural marketplace. For sale, gently used soul, barely sinned, serious offers only. The hilarious part, even if this worked, you just know the devil isn't giving you fame and fortune. You'd sell your soul and end up with a Walmart gift card that still has $3.72 on it. Imagine trying to explain that at checkout. Plus, if Lucifer really is out there making deals, he's probably overwhelmed by all the applications from people who failed their New Year's diets. If you're considering it, though, don't. Netflix already owns your soul for $15.49 a month, and at least they give you Stranger Things reruns in return. Number 8. Is it possible to time travel? This is a classic Google search. Right up there with, can I microwave aluminum foil? Look, if time travel were possible, half the country would already be living in 1985 just to buy a house for $40,000. But let's face it, if humans could time travel, would we be using it for profound historical exploration? Someone would go back 5 minutes just to stop themselves from sending that embarrassing drunk text to their ex. And let's be real. If anyone in America figured out time travel, the first thing they do is go back and buy stock in Apple, then complain about how slow the iPhone 20 is. Until then, the closest we're getting is being stuck in traffic so long it feels like time travel. Number 9. Can a person live without a brain? The internet's favorite roast disguised as a medical question. Technically, the answer is no. But after 5 minutes on Facebook, you'd swear otherwise. Some people out there are living, breathing proof that low power mode isn't just for phones. Sure, medically speaking, a brain is necessary, but scroll through the comment section of literally any YouTube video, and suddenly that fact feels debatable. The irony? The very person Googling, can a person live without a brain, is making the case against themselves. Spoiler alert, you need it. But if you're looking for real-life examples, don't worry. You can always tune into reality TV. Number 10. Can you swim in a pool of Jell-O? Now this is the American dream distilled. Forget Olympic pools. We want dessert you can drown in. Theoretically, yes, you could dive into a giant Jell-O pool, but swimming in it? Good luck. It's less Michael Phelps and more, help, I'm trapped in grandma's potluck side dish. Plus, you'd need a pool the size of Texas and a lifetime supply of gelatin packets to pull it off. Imagine explaining that to Costco. Yes, hi. I'll take 12 million packets of cherry Jell-O, please. And here's the kicker. Even if you manage to fill a pool with Jell-O, the first thing someone would do is a cannonball. immediately breaking your masterpiece into a sad fruit salad. But hey, at least you'd finally answer the question that no one really needed answered. Number 11. Why can't I stop eating cheese? This is the most relatable Google search in American history. Cheese is basically dairy crack. We've all been there, standing in front of the fridge at midnight, eating shredded cheddar straight from the bag, like some sort of raccoon that pays rent. And the truth is, cheese hits the brain like a tiny dopamine bomb. Scientists say it contains casein, which triggers the same pleasure receptors as, well, things far less legal. So, of course, you can't stop eating it. It's not willpower, it's biology. That said, maybe when you've polished off your sixth block of sharp cheddar in a single sitting, it's time to admit the problem. America may not have universal health care, but we do have unlimited cheese samples at Costco, which is basically the same thing. Number 12. Is my dog a genius or just lucky? Every dog owner has asked this at least once. Your dog barks at the door 3 seconds before the mailman shows up. Genius, right? Or maybe your dog just barks at everything that moves, and one day he got it right. We want to believe our pups are four-legged Einsteins, but let's be real. This is the same animal that eats socks and stares at the wall for 20 minutes. If dogs were truly geniuses, they wouldn't let us dress them in Halloween costumes that strip them of all dignity. But hey, at least dogs give us unconditional love, which, if you think about it, is probably smarter than half the stuff humans do daily. Genius? Maybe not. Luck? Definitely. Cute? Absolutely. Number 13. How can I become a professional sleeper? Now, this is the American dream rebranded. Forget climbing corporate ladders or starting a business. People want to get paid for naps. And believe it or not, professional sleepers do exist. They're called sleep study participants. You check into a lab, get hooked up with wires, snooze while someone watches your brain waves, and then they hand you a check. But let's be honest, most of us already qualify for this job. If accidentally falling asleep on the couch mid-Netflix binge was a sport, the US would dominate the Olympics. Still, before you submit your resume, maybe ask yourself, do you really want a LinkedIn profile that says special skills, snoring at a professional level? Number 14. Why does my cat judge me? Because it can. Cats are basically tiny, furry dictators with the confidence of a Wall Street CEO. You come home after a long day, collapse on the couch, and there's your cat, sitting on the armrest, glaring at you like you just lost the nation's GDP in a bad crypto investment. Dogs look at you and see a hero. Cats look at you and see a personal assistant who's consistently late with the tuna. And if you think your cat doesn't judge you, try tripping over your own shoes in front of it. The slow blink, the tail flick, the disappointed sigh. It's like living with your high school principal in feline form. The truth is, cats don't just judge you, they enjoy judging you. Number 15. Is it legal to marry an imaginary character? And here's where Google really earns its paycheck. Somewhere out there, someone watched too much anime and thought, what if I put a ring on this cartoon? Short answer, no, it's not legal. Long answer, if it were, the divorce lawyers would have a field day. Imagine walking into court. Your Honor, she left me for a taller, buffer, better-drawn character. Japan has had a few high-profile cases of people holding ceremonies to marry holograms or fictional characters, but legally not happening. In the US, you can marry another person, you can marry yourself. You can probably marry a Vegas buffet if you sign the right paperwork. But SpongeBob is staying single. And honestly, he deserves better. Number 16. Why do I hear music when I chew? Well, congratulations. You've basically unlocked the worst possible version of Spotify Premium. Some people get chew synesthesia, others just get tinnitus, and the rest of us? We get to listen to our own jaw crack like a glow stick at a frat party. But sure, let's romanticize it. Maybe you're not chewing Doritos, maybe you're composing a symphony. Every crunch is a drum beat, every slurp is a violin. Imagine Mozart at Taco Bell. Ah, yes, the chalupa is in C minor. Of course, the more likely answer is that your ears are right next to your jaw, and chewing makes noise inside your skull. But hey, let's not ruin the magic. Just tell people you've got an exclusive soundtrack only you can hear. Number 17. Can you die from too much Netflix? Short answer, probably not directly. Long answer, definitely if you keep watching true crime documentaries at 3 a.m. while eating your body weight in hot Cheetos. Netflix may not kill you instantly, but binge watching is the ultimate slow burn. You sit down to just one episode, and suddenly it's Tuesday. You haven't showered, and your blood type is now 90% Mountain Dew. At that point, your body is basically screaming, please, just go outside. But no, you've got to see how Love is Blind ends. Will Netflix kill you? Not as fast as, say, skydiving without a parachute. But it'll definitely erase your social life, your sleep schedule, and probably your ability to blink without subtitles running across your vision. Number 18. Is my Roomba spying on me? Oh, absolutely. That little disc isn't just vacuuming, it's mapping your house, recording your secrets, and probably judging how often you spilled Cheeto dust on the carpet. Remember when technology was supposed to make life easier? Now we're debating whether the robot sucking up cat hair is also sending floor plans to the CIA. Honestly, though, even if your Roomba is spying, what's it reporting? Subject dropped another Pop-Tart under the couch. Situation critical. If anything, the real violation is emotional. The day your Roomba gets stuck under a chair for the 10th time, you realize your $400 spy is also dumber than a goldfish. Number 19. Do fish have feelings? This is one of those deep philosophical Google questions, pun intended. Some scientists say yes, fish can feel pain. Others argue they're basically swimming potatoes with gills. But if fish do have feelings, then boy, we owe them an apology. Imagine being a goldfish, minding your business, and your owner is training you to dunk a basketball in a plastic hoop for TikTok likes. Feelings? Yeah, probably anger. But even if fish have emotions, they're not writing poetry about their lost loves. They're mostly thinking, food, 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 oh, shiny thing. So yes, fish may feel, but I guarantee none of them feel bad about ghosting you. Number 20. How to unfriend mom on Facebook without her knowing it. Now, this is peak modern America. We fought wars over freedom, and now we're hiding from our moms online because they keep commenting, handsome boy, on every single post. The sad truth, you can't really unfriend mom without her noticing. She will notice, and you will get that passive-aggressive phone call. I guess I'm just not part of your life anymore. Your best bet is to quietly restrict her posts, hide your embarrassing photos, and pray she never figures out Instagram. Or if you're truly brave, you could sit her down and explain boundaries like an adult. But let's be honest, you'll probably just make a burner account instead. Number 21. Am I pregnant? Ah, yes, the most Googled panic button of them all. Millions of Americans have apparently decided that instead of taking a pregnancy test, the thing literally designed for this, they'd rather ask a search engine. Like Google is some kind of digital midwife. Congratulations, Jessica. based on your browsing history of Taco Bell cravings and late night mood swings, you are in your second trimester. Look, if you're wondering whether you're pregnant, there are two possibilities. One involves biology, the other involves WebMD convincing you you're pregnant with twins and also dying at the same time. But hey, why use common sense when you can ask the same website that thinks your mild cough is stage 4 everything? Number 22. How do I get home? This one is beautiful in its simplicity. Somebody got lost, skipped right past Google Maps, and typed this in like Google's gonna send a car to pick them up. How do I get home? Buddy, if you don't know, how should Google? What's next? How do I breathe? Maybe, just maybe, take a break from tequila shots before trusting your life to the search bar. To be fair, I'd bet 90% of these searches came from people stumbling out of bars at 2 a.m., clutching their phones like lifelines. And honestly, if you're typing, how do I get home into Google, maybe you don't deserve to. Number 23. Are aliens real? Now, here's an American classic. Every year, someone Googles this like Google is in cahoots with Area 51. Like you're gonna type it in and suddenly get a notification. Yes, Dave, they're real. Also, they think you're lame. Look, the government already accidentally leaked UFO footage, and still no one cared because we were too busy arguing over gas prices. If aliens are real, they've probably flown past Earth a few times, taken one look at TikTok, and said, nope, not touching that mess. Which means, in a way, they're the smartest life forms in the galaxy. Number 24. Does farting burn calories? This is peak American curiosity right here. We invented the treadmill. We invented weight loss shakes. But instead of using them, we're Googling whether ripping one in line at Walmart is a workout. Hate to break it to you, but no. Farting doesn't torch calories. If it did, America would be the fittest nation on Earth. Imagine the gyms. No treadmills, just a room full of people eating beans and waiting for results. If farting burned calories, Taco Bell would have to be reclassified as a health food. Sadly, science says it doesn't help you lose weight, but it does help you lose friends. Number 25. When will I die? This is the one that really shows how little we trust doctors. Forget annual checkups. Just ask Google when your time's up. As if Google has a giant calendar somewhere with your name scribbled on it. Frank dies on Thursday, 3:47 p.m. after eating suspicious sushi. The truth is, no one knows. Well, unless you're still Googling, can I eat a whole airplane? In that case, sooner than the rest of us. People want certainty. But here's the ironic twist. Half the folks searching this are the same ones drinking energy drinks like water and deep frying Twinkies at the county fair. Spoiler alert, it's not going to be old age that gets you. And there you have it, folks. 25 of the strangest, funniest, and most head-scratching questions Americans have ever dared to throw at Google. And trust me, this is just the tip of the iceberg. If people out there are genuinely wondering whether pigs sweat or if you can legally marry an imaginary character, you know there are plenty more gems waiting to be discovered. So, if you don't want to miss the next round of Google's greatest hits, make sure to hit that subscribe button. That way, you'll always be here when we uncover the next batch of what on earth were they thinking moments. And hey, drop a comment below. What's the weirdest thing you've ever Googled? Or maybe you've seen a friend, we're not judging, okay, maybe a little, type in something so bizarre it deserves to be framed. Share it, because who knows, your search might just make it into the next video.